Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another video of the 100 Days to CLAT series. This is day 16 away from the CLAT exam, and yeah, this is 16 days left for the final CLAT. You guys can join the Telegram channel of mine and ask any queries over there. And I could officially conclude today that I am officially cooked right now because this week has been the least productive week of mine. My energy levels are at the rock bottom, my motivation levels are at the rock bottom, and even though things seems okay but they aren't that okay. So today's day I didn't do anything basically. I did just the CLAT Express September and the August CLAT Express, and then I just did the All India Open Mock LPT ka. Except the English section I did everything, and I did not do any of these things. I made such a big of a task list which I had to complete. There was a deadline for me to complete it today, but I sadly was not able to do that. And it's November 21, and most probably they will launch the CLAT post of this month as well. So I have to revise that. I have to revise all the expresses left. I have to revise my notes left. I have to complete the GK classes which I have a backlog of. There's just a plethoric amount of tasks left, and then I have to also give a lot of mocks still. I have to make a lot of improvements. There's just like too burdensome of a things which I have to do. But let's see. Today's day I hope it would be different. Today I would be giving the LE's mock, and yeah, I will also be discussing the All India Open mock LPT, how it went. These were the small few learnings which I made, and that is what I'm getting a bit of biasness in logical reasoning. What are these biases? Are because I was only solving LE mocks in the recent past, so I've become a bit more accustomed to its reasoning, to its elimination tactics, and those were not exactly replicable in the LPT mocks. Because LPT mocks, what I felt, the passages are long, they are dense in nature, and the reasoning may there is slight a bit of difference in LE's reasoning and the LPT's reasoning. So because of that I've lost quite a few marks here and there, and that leads us to the next learning, that is to give different mocks right now because I'm getting too accustomed to LE mocks. So I would probably give the next LPT's All India Open mock whichever they are conducting. They are conducting three mocks, like three consecutive days with three mocks, so I will at least try to give one of them. So that is what my plan is for this week, to give more of LPT mocks as well. And I'm also trying to arrange the career launcher ka mock, so I'll also try to give that as well, so that I get a bit more diversity in my preparation. And logical reasoning mein, okay, let us discuss that at the end. Another thing was mensuration formulas. I was not able to remember those formulas at the time of me solving those mensuration questions, so I need to just revise that. So let us discuss how was that paper. Okay, English so I did not give, but English I have heard was moderate. It wasn't that hard, and even the passages seemed quite short. But I read the first passage and it was quite confusing. So maybe they were a bit difficult in terms of comprehension, but the options and all seems quite fair. English का वैसा था, and then GK was easy for me at least. I sailed through that GK, eliminated a lot of questions, and because a lot of questions asked in the GK were from the GK Fiesta, I made those questions wrong here, so I was able to rectify it in this section. So scored quite good in the GK. I'm really happy with my GK ka score. And then we have legal. Legal felt like too hard for me in the beginning. When I was solving it, it felt that I am making at least a few mistakes here and there. But when I saw the answer key, the situation was not that same. I scored quite good in my legal as well. Legal, my only problem which I faced was the length of those passages. The first two passages felt too lengthy, and because they weren't very frequent topics, so it took me a lot of time for me to complete these. It took around 17-18 minutes just to complete the first two passages, and then the last 3 4 5 passages I did quite quickly. So legal may have to improve a bit. Okay, yeah. And then logical reasoning, I saw a lot of people saying it was easy. It was, people are scoring good in logical reasoning, but I personally felt कि there were a lot of classical blunders which I did in logical reasoning. The passages were quite dense. If you are not a person who focuses a lot and has a poorer comprehension, just like me sometimes in my mocks, then your score is bound to dip in a section like this, logical reasoning ka. So yeah, I will also be figuring out what I need to do when sections like this comes and my comprehension is poor. So how would I tackle that comprehension ka skill in that particular mock? So then quants was the first and the third passages were very easy. I means the those two passages were asked in the Ellie's mock in some time. I don't remember which mock, but they were asked, so I was able to sail through those two passages very easily. The mensuration was a bit difficult because I did not know a lot of formulas, and I had to do a bit of tricks to in order to solve those questions as well. So on and all, the quants was on the difficult side because of that mensuration passage. Logical reasoning was moderate, but for me the most disappointing section was obviously logical reasoning. Legal reasoning was easy to moderate, but it was lengthy. GK was easy, at least for me I felt it was easy. And English was again, okay, I won't say anything. English ka I would say moderate. So probably a good score would be around 85 plus. So yeah, I believe that is it for today's vid. Bye.